We had a few technical difficulties, but welcome to our webinar on getting the most from Housewares Connect 365. Today, myself, Nancy Michael, and Dawn Whitman.
Good afternoon.
Will be presenting. Dawn is kind of our resident expert here on Housewares Connect 365. She's going to take you through step by step. And we're going to talk about a lot of things today during this webinar. If you've got any questions, go ahead and use your chat function to submit, and we'll address them as we go along. So today, like I just said, we're going to deal with Housewares Connect 365, and this is a free tool that we offer for you, and this is a way for you to reach, most importantly, our buyers who both attend and don't attend the show. Consumers use this, and media relies on this tool heavily. So it's an important tool, and it's free. We'll often refer to Housewares Connect 365 as HC365 as an abbreviation, so just be aware of that. And this is basically what HC365 is going to help you with. It's going to help you attract buyers, attract media, inform consumers, and promote your brands through words, images, video. How it helps others, 23,000 buyers register and attend the show. Many of them we know through our buyer meeting groups use this tool. In fact, some of the very large buyers who attend the show use it. Media definitely uses it to help identify new and innovative products, especially our freelance PR team works very diligently through some of the applications on this program to help kind of understand what the new products are, and then they do pitches to television and other media sources. And then the media that registers for the show also uses this to kind of find out what's going on and new products and in-booth appearances and those kinds of things. So why should you use HC365? Every year we log more than 1 million searches on the site. We know that consumers are using the site, and we'll talk a little bit about that later in the presentation, and buyers and media. And we also know that listings with imagery, catalogs, and product images, and often YouTube videos are viewed 75% more frequently than those who just populate their company listing. So today we're going to kind of give you the overview on the tool, HC365. Dawn's going to talk a lot about how to enhance your free listing with those images and video and some of the things the media is going to look for, and how the buyers and the media use Housewares Connect, and actually what your input, we're going to show you what the output looks like so you'll know what they're actually seeing when they go to search. This is a page right out of the marketing kit, and the takeaway on this page is that everything you put into Housewares Connect 365 feeds our mobile application that will be available for download in iTunes and Android, I think, at Google Play. Thank you. So it's really important to make sure you get this populated, because as we move more into technology, of course, people will be using their smart devices to see what you're offering on show sites. So how to work HC365, it's live. You can update it as many times as you need to up until the start of the show. You could actually make changes to it during the show if you needed to. Company information populates ASAP, and then here's just a few little tips, right? Logo, brands, licenses you may have, and video links. You know, you want to make sure you load your best sellers, your catalogs, and any news releases. And then the bottom, we're going to talk about a bit too. Show specials is a pretty important one for our buyers. New products, very important for both buyers and media. And of course, the in-booth appearances, if you have a celebrity chef in your booth or a designer or somebody noteworthy, this gets searched quite a bit. So how can this tool help you? First of all, we all want to get seen at the show. It's a large show. Buyers, use this as a pre-planned tool. So, of course, you want to increase your searchability. We know that consumers are using it. It's a great way to get your brand in front of them. There's a place for URL and company email, too, for consumers who are looking to purchase. Company description. This is actually searchable on our site, keyword searchable. It also helps with the sales engine optimization and searching on the internet. So important that you are thoughtful about what you put in your company description. And of course, create your story. You want it to be compelling. You're trying to attract people to your booth and your story and your products. So it's really important to take some time with this. We've talked a little bit about this already. Catalogs, product images, videos, company logo, all important. And you're going to hear us repeat this sentiment quite a bit during this presentation. In-booth appearance information we just went through. Made in USA, we'll talk about that a little bit more in depth. This is kind of an important one. You want to make sure that you are made it, actually all your products is made in USA. You have to sign or check that you've agreed to the qualification standards, and we'll get into this a little bit as well. And then what I talked about before, company news, events, celebrations. If it's your 50th anniversary, make sure you get it up on the page.
Okay, now I'm going to walk you through all of the steps on how to update your listing, and then you'll see what this looks like on Housewares Connect 365 when we're done. So when you go to our website at www.housewares.org, if you roll your mouse over the show icon, then click on Exhibit at the Show, you're taken to the Exhibitor Resources page. From here, you'll see there are 6 boxes towards the center of the page. You have to go back.
Oh, bye. Yep.
And in the lower left-hand box, it says Key Exhibitor Services. And then right below there, you'll see update your HC 365 and show directory listing. You're going to need your ID and seniority number to log in. If you don't have this, there's a button there. You can just click on that and email me, and I'll respond as quickly as I possibly can with your login. I want to go over the left side navigation buttons just a little bit. These buttons are in no particular order of importance, but you can go either right down the row or you can skip back and forth depending on what information you have in your hand to upload at this time. The first one is the company address. You'll notice when you go to the page that there's a little question mark after your company name. Exhibitors are not permitted to change their company name on this page, and that little question mark will give you instructions if you need to change your company name, if you've had some change in your either you're going from an incorporation to an LLC. If you need to make some kind of change to your name, you can see the instructions right on that little question mark. The next one is on-site contacts. This is where you're going to add your U.S., your non-U.S., and your specialty retail contacts. We also have a line there if you have a PR agency or a consumer contact that you want to add as well. The last 2 are not printed in our printed show directory, but they do show up on Housewares Connect 365. We have the brands and licensing. This is really important to get your brand out there. This is a free listing in the back of our printed directory for all brands and licenses, and it's also keyword searchable. Then products. This section I'm going to cover in depth. It gives you an alpha listing of product category codes that will help you determine and help with the keyword search when buyers are looking for products like yours. The company description, as Nancy said, is very searchable through our keyword search. We want to keep it as clean as possible, but I want you to also add any information that you think a buyer might use to search. We want you to tell your story and be noticed by the media. Then product images and product catalog. These two I'll go in depth, but you should know that product images can be JPEGs or GIFs, and your product catalog can only be a PDF. Okay, the first one is I've logged in as a company called Polk Manufacturing. They are near and dear to our hearts here at IHA. And you'll see there's a little question mark after the word Polk Manufacturing. That's where you would find the information on how to request a company name change. Your on-site contacts, as I explained, are your U.S., your non-U.S., specialty retailer sales contact, and then if you have a public relations or a consumer contact, you can add them as well. Again, they don't appear in our printed directory, but they are online. Your brands and licenses. This would be that place where you would enter any brand identification that you're trying to establish in your community with your product. Licensing, of course, is if you have a product that's licensed by Disney or Coke or the NFL or the Baseball Association. That's where your licensing agreements and your licensed brands would appear. This is what I was referring to as an alpha listing of product category codes. I've listed here that Polk Manufacturing has cake cutters, cake decorating supplies, cake pans, candles, griddles, salad bowls, etc. This is where you would enter any kind of product code that would fit your product category. If you need more explanation on that, just drop me an email and I'll try to explain it a little better. But this is also very important in our keyword search feature. The more you list, and currently it's unlimited, the higher your searchability becomes. In the company description, we want you to tell your story. You can be as descriptive as you like, or you can just say a couple of words. Add an anniversary, tell me what your history, tell me when your company was founded, tell me what's unique about your company. And then you can enter your location, you can enter any kind of product news that you like. This company description feature is totally searchable on both Google and our keyword search. So for product images, you'll see here that Polk has a nice little image there of a little monkey. You need to use either JPEG or GIF images, and you have an opportunity to add or remove a title or description of your product, which is pretty helpful when the buyers are looking to see just what it is you're offering. For the catalogs, we recommend that they be no larger than 10 megabytes. It's better to be smaller. A file that's only 1 megabyte will open in about 10 seconds for most people running on computers these days. The catalogs must be in a PDF format. And just a reminder that PDFs are not keyword searchable. The content in the PDF is not keyword searchable. So you want to be sure that whatever you're putting, any dialogue or verbiage that you're using inside your company description is outside of the PDF. Product images must be in JPEG or GIF, and your videos must come from the expanded YouTube link. And I'll show you an image where you can grab this link. You just copy and paste it directly into our site, and we'll upload them.
Just so you know, go ahead.
Go ahead. We have a question.
Yeah.
How do you add these search words to the product page? The person doesn't see any add keyword button or add category button to populate this section.
To the alpha listing.
Yep.
Okay, right here, to search for items in the alphabetical listing, if they make apple cores, they should click on A. If you can't find it under A for apple core, then in the keywords box right below that, you can type in apple core. If it's not available, you can drop me an email and we can try to add it to our tree.
So just contact Dawn if you can't find the product categories, but they're pretty expensive. You know, we've tried to capture the bulk of product categories that are represented at the show, down to some specifics. And you also want to think about, how is somebody going to search for you? Are they going to drill down to a very specific item, or are they going to be more general and, you know, scented candles or candles? So things
Instead of 3-wick candles.
right.
Okay, thank you for all the questions we have.
Thank you. So just to go back to this catalog file size recommendations, I got to point out, one, this is a public site, right? We've talked about consumers being on this site. Your competitors are searching this site. A lot of people are using this site. So when you're posting your catalog, many people publish their pricing in their catalog now, their wholesale pricing. So you need to be careful about what you actually post on this post on the site and what you want to remain proprietary. So just keep that in mind. You know, sometimes you have to make some adjustments to what you want to get up there, so you're not showing a consumer the wholesale pricing and your competitor the wholesale pricing, or whatever you're deeming as proprietary.
Okay, back to uploading your company catalog. Now you've got your PDF, you click Add Files, you browse, find your catalog, and all you're going to do is upload catalog. It's really very simple, but if you're having trouble, please, please, please just reach out, email me, and I can walk you through it. Or if you find that your catalog is too large, you can email it to me and I can upload it for you. Some servers are restricted on the size of the catalogs that you have the ability. We here have a very large server who can handle the load. Company logo. This is really important because this is where your branding begins. You know, many companies recognize that logo right off. They may not know who you really are, but they know the logo of your brand. Please upload your logo and then add any company news, videos. We offer special marketing opportunities, and we'll cover that where the Made in the USA and in-booth appearances are. And then for duplicate directory listings, I wanted to point out that this is for companies that have a wholly owned subsidiary or a parent company that is not exhibiting but wishes to be listed in our directory. It's not for brands and licensing. It's for wholly owned subsidiary companies. And then we're going to ask you to sign off, and then there's a big thank you at the end. Again, with your company logo, if you have your logo in a file folder on your desktop, you're going to click Add Files and upload the image. It's really very easy, but if you're having trouble, please let me know. I should mention that your file names of anything that you're uploading should not have any underscores or special characters, just a clean file name. If it's a logo, call it a logo. If it's your third logo, you can call it Logo 3, but don't add any underscores or special characters to the file name. And the same thing should go with your PDF. If you're adding a PDF for your press release or your company catalog, be sure that the file name is just as simple as it could possibly be. Again, you're going to click Add Files, go to your desktop, find the file you want to upload, and click Upload. There's a section here to add a title and a description of the news or press release. If this was your company's 10th anniversary, you can title it that. Again, remember though, PDFs are not, the verbiage inside the PDF is not searchable. So for your company video, like I said before, you need to go grab the entire YouTube link. And currently we're only using YouTube, so if you haven't gotten a YouTube account, set one up, get your videos up there. And then in the next screen, you'll see that up in the address bar of your browser, your web browser, you're going to grab that entire link and copy and paste it back into the video upload.
Doesn't YouTube offer a smaller link too?
YouTube, you'll see on that right-hand side of this video, those are little abbreviated video links. That's not what you want. You want to click on your video so that it'll run, and then grab that entire video link from the browser address bar.
Okay, so we talked a little bit about special marketing opportunities and the navigation. So we got two things here. The Made in USA. So there's a list of criteria there. You need to read it. You need to agree to the terms. The important thing about Made in the USA is what we've heard from our buyers in the past is a lot of them, this is still important. They search it. They go to see your company. And when they get there and they find a product that's not actually made in the USA, or there's components of the product that are not made in the USA, it really makes them angry. So please, please qualify yourself and do it on the up and up. Otherwise, you know, you could find yourself in this situation.
I wanted to point out that when you go to the special marketing opportunities and click the Made in the USA, you'll see in there's a scroll box that we've entered the federal guidelines that the government says you should qualify for in order to be able to be considered a Made in the USA product. Take the time to read it. I know it's government reading, so it might put you to sleep, but the criteria is there, and we try to follow the government guidelines.
Then also in your marketing kit, which we'll touch upon briefly in this presentation, you can go order a Made in USA sign. These will get, one sign will be delivered to your booth Friday of setup, so that is March 4th this year. There are no extras available on site. We really kind of police this best we can. And then the show specials, this is really important. We hear from our buyers. Show specials are important to them. They do search for it. When we get to this part of the presentation, when you see what they see, Dawn will point out you get a star designation if you have a show special. We're not interested in having you tell us what the special is on the site. Again, it can be proprietary. We just want to designate that you have a show special. And I'll tell you that we know this is successful for many of our exhibitors. It's also kind of important, we're told, that you just offer the special for show, that you're not offering it pre-show and you're not extending it post-show. People are really looking at this as this is a special on-site show promotion. And it's really just a click of a box if you're going to offer one.
Okay, here's the special marketing opportunities page. And you'll see there in the center, the Made in the USA is a featured category. And buyers from around the world have asked that we be specific in the Made in the USA. So the requirements that are listed there in that little scroll box are what the United States government, the federal government, recommends as criteria for your Made in the USA. If you meet that criteria and check the box right below it, as Nancy said, a sign will be delivered to your booth on Friday prior to the show. And as she said, those signs are limited. We don't bring any on site. So there, you know, if you don't do this prior to the start of the show, we can't get you a sign. The second box there is special marketing opportunities. And it's just a box you're going to check. And then when you look at your Housewares Connect 365 listing, you'll see that there's a star there that buyers will know that your company is offering an on-site show special. For the in-booth appearances, you want to let the buyers and the news media know about a celebrity in your booth, or you have a book signing, or there's product demonstration, that you've got, you know, a specialty happening in your booth during the show. You can click right there to add your event and
activate it.
Yeah. Okay, again, the duplicate directory listing, I wanted to point out that it's not for ordinary brand identification. It's for wholly owned subsidiaries who, or your parent company who want a line listing in our directory. Just to give you an example, a company like Rogue Kitchen, who's a very large company, would purchase a duplicate listing for their Pyrex division, which is a wholly owned subsidiary of World Kitchen.
Basically, it operates as a separate company under a parent company.
A parent.
If you have, this can get really confusing. If you have any questions on this, just contact Dawn.
And we've asked you to sign off by putting your initials there. It gets a little technical, but when I upload your information, it creates a footprint in our database so that I know who the last person was that updated your company listing and the date that I uploaded everything. If your marketing manager changes, or you know, somebody's out on maternity leave and someone else covers for them, this is a way that I can say, okay, Joe did it on October 30th, and now Allison's coming in December to do it again. It's just a way that I can track if your company has updated your listings. And then there's a big thank you.
Okay, so at the bottom of that left-hand navigation, there's additional marketing opportunities. These are really important new products for the media. Well, if you've ever heard our extended webinar on the marketing kit, Deb Teschke, who's our PR manager, will always say, if you're a small company and you've limited resources and there's one thing you take advantage of the new products for the media. We'll go a little bit into teaching you about this and how to do it and what the media sees. But I will tell you, I mentioned it earlier, this is what our PR team searches. The best part about this is it's proprietary. Only news media can see it. They have a special briefcase that they get access from Debbie here, and your products can remain completely proprietary until you want to post them in your product images on your profile page. So really important. Dawn's going to go into a little bit more detail shortly. And then the new product showcase, also very important. These are located in the buyers clubs. We have buyers clubs in all 3 expo halls, so North Hall, South Hall, and Lakeside Center. And this showcases what new products you want to help drive buyers to your booth. There's a whole program about this. This is one of the paid opportunities. We really try to keep what we can free. This is a $300 per product entry. There is a deadline of January 29th to enter this.
Nancy?
Yes?
Do the products need to be available on the market?
The criteria for it is new products to the market, and there's some guidelines written in there. So let's say you've launched it within the year. Like maybe you launched it, say, October in 15, but you're really going to start showcasing it at the Housewares show, we would allow that. That would be considered a new product. Or if you're going to launch it at Ambiente, we would still consider that a new product. So it's not for bestsellers. It's not for you to go back and put, you know, bestsellers in there, or, you know, a product that you're just really, you know, maybe it's a little dead in the water and you're trying to get promotion for it. It's really supposed to highlight your new innovations and your new products. The only people allowed in the Buyers Club are exhibitors and media. Oh, I'm sorry. I always say that. Buyers, I'm so used to exhibitors. That's all we do. Eat, sleep, and drink exhibitors. Buyers and media. That is all that is allowed in the Buyers Club. We have a guard in there. We look at every badge. Trade guests are not allowed. Certainly exhibitors are not allowed because this obviously could be proprietary for you, and you're manning your booth, right? So you can kick people out of your booth. So the other thing with the new product showcase, let's say you're a North Hall exhibitor, but you're introducing a cookware line. Your cookware line, if you were to submit that into the new product showcase, would actually be put in South Hall new product showcase because that's where the cook and bakeware category lives, right? Most of the cook and bakeware companies are located in South. You know, with acquisitions now, you know, the industry is kind of shrinking in a way. People are expanding their business looking for new channels. So we're seeing that a lot of companies are getting into products categories that they might not have necessarily even touched in years past. So it's a great cross-traffic. If you're in North Hall and you want to promote a South Hall product, that's, you know, could be a great entry point for you to get buyer attention. When you walk into the new product or the Buyers Club, right, so you're media or a buyer, you're handed a scan gun, and each product in the showcase has a label with your company name and your booth number. Now, we offer a lot of things, and one of the things we do not offer are email addresses, and we always get that question. Why don't you offer email addresses? Well, we don't offer email addresses like on our buyers list, because the buyers have asked us not to. They have not given us the authority to publish that information. However, when you go into the new product showcase and they're scanning your product, when they leave the Buyers Club, they're handed a printout of all the products that they scanned, the company name and the booth number, so that they can go meet with you on site. At the end of the show, you get a list of every buyer who scanned your product with their email address, and the buyer also gets an email with everybody that they visited. So it's a really great tool for that post-show follow-up, which we stress heavily in our full-on marketing webinar. So if you haven't listened to that webinar, you can read it on you can listen to it on our website, and you'll get notifications. We do that a few more times before the show, or call me, and I can talk you through any of it or all of it. So that's what the new product showcase is about. You can find it either on that left-hand navigation on HC365 or in, I can't read that, additional marketing opportunities right there. Or you just go to the marketing kit in the website, and it's under Attract News Media, because that's for that news media, new product stuff. This is where you have, you know, individual access to the news media. Nobody else sees it. It doesn't populate on your 365 page. That's the first opportunity I talked about there. The one that if you don't take advantage of any other tracked media, that's the one you should be doing at the very least.
Nancy, do exhibitors in the Adventures Corner qualify for the new product showcase?
They sure do.
They sure do.
Okay, thank you. That's all the questions.
Okay. And then for this page is how you populate it. It'll give you a list of everything that you've sent to the news media there. This is last year's. It should clear for this year, but if it doesn't, just go ahead and override it or erase it or add to it. There's no limit on the new product for the news media. So if you have 25 new products, go ahead and enter them. We will tell you again, imagery, right? People are very visual. There's a place to upload photos of your new products, so when they're looking at just a description, it's really not as impactful as if they're looking at a description with a picture of your new product. Again, this is completely proprietary. Only news media sees it. That's kind of another question we get is, you know, we have new products, but we don't want to put it up on our profile page yet because we know our competitors are looking. We know, consumers are looking. So that's really up to you. A lot of people choose to put that information on after Ambiente because they've released it into the public eye, or right before the start of our show so that buyers can still kind of get a look at it. That really is up to you, but something just to be aware of, right? You always want to have in your head that your competitors could be looking at your page.
Nancy?
Yes?
In the directory, are company logos in the directory?
No. Dawn's going to cover that very shortly. Our directory is very limited. It's really a booth reference or a location and company reference guide.
Okay, thanks.
Okay. Again, there's the box for additional marketing opportunities for the new product showcase now we're going to cover. This is where it takes you to. If you're the show contact listening in and you've received our marketing kit, this was the separate brochure that came with the marketing kit that talked about the new product showcase and the Global Innovation Awards. So the other thing about the new product showcase and why the deadline is so important, and you can see it up there, January 29th, is any items submitted by the deadline date are eligible to be judged and win a Global Innovation Award. We've changed this program a little bit for this year, and what we're going to do now is the products that are selected as finalists, we have a judging panel that's made up of retailers, designers, and media. And they judge in 12 different product categories, and then they pull the finalists. There's, I think, 5 finalists in each category. You're notified pre-show if you're a finalist. And then the winners will be announced at a gala on Saturday evening after the show closes, and that's when the winners will be announced. On the following day, there's a special display that happens in our Hall of Global Innovation, which is located in the Lakeside Center lobby. That's the one across the bridge if you're familiar with the show. And again, it's labeled with your name and your booth number, and it's a great media blitz. It's a great promotion. It's very well traveled by buyers and exhibitors at the show. So the showcase, the takeaway, the showcase feeds the Innovation Awards, and you're all eligible for that as long as you meet that January 29th date. And giving you a lot of information. If you, again, feel free to contact me at any point. I'm happy to talk you through all of it again. I'm happy to do, a one-on-one on all of our marketing opportunities if you feel you need it.
Okay, once again, to update your company listing, you're going to go to www.housewares.org/show/exhibit/dir.
Okay, if you look at the bottom here, this red call-out box, so being the size show we are, there's a lot of people who try to poach on our exhibitors. They scrub our website. Again, it's an open site, right, so they can go and try and get information. Often, these directory scams, essentially, will come to you in a very official-looking envelope, maybe hand-addressed. And it basically talks about a global directory of sorts. If you do get this, my recommendation is you just throw it right in the trash. If you want to read it, just make sure you read the fine print. If you sign this, you have just entered into a binding contract, and it often will cost you thousands of dollars, and they will often pursue that if you don't pay. So we put it up there as a warning to you, just so you're aware.
So the printed directory, the deadline to be included in the printed directory with your company name, booth number, and your contacts is January 22nd. And as Nancy said, our printed show directory does not include any product images or logos. It's a pretty clean directory. In the back of the directory are the brands and licensing listings. And in the front of the directory, you'll find events to visit at our show. It also includes time, a calendar event of who's in the cooking theater, when our charity gala is, information about the industry breakfast, you'll find in the front of our printed directory.
I just want to note here, like let's say, you know, you're planning right now for 5 different shows, and you have great intentions. I'm going to get all my stuff done right after this webinar, and then all of a sudden you turn around and it's January 27th. The purpose of this, because again, the HC365, that's where we pull the information for the directory. What you really need to do is just go look at your profile page now and make sure that all this information, your name, your booth number, your U.S. contact, your non-U.S. contact, and your specialty retail contact have the correct information in it. So if you don't do anything, make sure you do that, because that is going to get, we're going to pull it regardless. So if you have, you know, John Smith as your non-U.S. contact and he left your company a year and a half ago, you know, you want to at least get that updated, and that's what will get pulled in the directory.
So you're going to go to housewares.org, and then from the show icon, you're going to go down to the exhibitor resources page and scroll to the box to update your company listing. How does this tool help the buyers in the media? Well, each 2016 buyer and media representative will have access to a personal briefcase where they can save searches, they can customize their floor plan for their visits with exhibiting companies, they can communicate with the exhibitors prior to the show through their briefcase, and they can access saved searches and the floor plan while they're at the show. They also have a year-round access to this. And it's actually more than a year. Our show ends in March, and we don't switch over to a new show year until October. So you're getting a little more than a year of total more than a year-round access.
And we do know, and again, I can't mention them by name, but there are a lot of big buyer companies out there that tell us they use this search tool year-round, hence the name, right? So important, you know, you can update it all year and make sure that you're getting the information you need out to the people you want to have it.
So the buyers, media, and consumers can search for you in a couple of ways. A keyword search, and if you click on the keyword, a drop-down box appears so that they can search by company, show category, brands and licenses, events, displays, and seminars, which will take them to the page where they can find out who's in the cooking theater. You can search by who's in the cooking theater, country, U.S., state. If they're a new exhibitor, you can search that way, or company booth events and featured categories. And by featured categories, we have a special category for pets and made in the USA. Again, the buyers and media would use this search tool. Most likely, we have found that more and more buyers just use the keyword search. But if they needed to find specific company or show category, then we offer the drop-down box. Now I'm going to show you what your work creates. After you've gone on and updated your company listing, your work creates your HC365 page. And this is what the buyers, the media, and the consumers will see. I've used Casabella because they've taken advantage of all of the features on our update page. From the main page, you can see their booth number, the photos that they list that they put photos. They have a video. That star there, the fourth arrow over, means that they are offering show specials. And that orange X or cross is where any buyer would click to save this company to their own personal briefcase. When I click on Casabella, you see that their logo is right up there, up front and center. Then their company name, their booth number and category location are under the company name. And then address, they have their URL, and you'll see it says email, general company email. It's not published, but when you click on there, an email opens so that you can talk to Casabella directly. They have their phone, fax, and toll-free number. They've also listed 3 contacts. You'll see down there at the bottom that they are an IBC exporter, which means that they have contributed to and are a member of our international business community. Anytime a member is part of the IBC, their logo is automatically placed on their portal page.
IBC is really a whole separate thing. It's the International Business Council. They are looking to export to Australia, but you have never entered that market. The IBC might run a trade mission to Australia. You probably get these emails and you're like, I don't know what this is. But anyways, it's a great program if your company's kind of in that growth mode and you're looking to break into international markets. It's led by a board of directors who are all exhibitors and who are all doing business overseas. So if you have questions on that, I will direct you to the right person who can give you all the lowdown on the IBC.
Casabella uploaded their video. They also have a catalog here. They've listed all of their brands and their product codes. They have dusters and bakeware and cleaning. That was the ABC product code listing that we had that question on. And then they put their current, well, this is from 2014, but they have their catalog listed and all of their brands and licenses.
And a video. That big picture on the
top. Oh,
top.
the big picture on top is their video. It's really spectacular. Now, I created a briefcase so that I could show you what the buyers would see in their own briefcase. You'll see I have 6 companies that I'd like to visit. 2 are in the North Hall and 4 are in the South. And that map on the lower right-hand corner shows you the 4 companies in the South building that I need to see. I've requested that the companies be put on the map so that I know who's first and what time it's going to take me to get from the first one to the 4th one.
This is a picture of the cover of the marketing kit, which you should have received now about 2.5 weeks ago. It's meant to kind of go along with the Housewares marketing kit on the website as a guide. All the details on all these programs are located on that site. So this is a great way to just kind of sit and go tick each one off. We have a lot of free opportunities. We have a few paid opportunities that are reasonable. So I just encourage you, if you haven't looked at that, please do. Again, I mentioned earlier, you can listen to the webinars we've done on that right off the website under the Education tab. And again, the offer stands if you need me to take you through any of it. I'm always happy to do that. So we talk a lot about consumers, right? They're kind of the success of our companies. The show generated 350 million consumer impressions last year. That number is probably a little on the low side because we don't count the pass-alongs. We use monitoring services. There's a whole explanation on how we get to that number, but it's for sure a number we know we hit, and the number could actually be a little more inflated. And then we launched last year, we soft launched our consumer platform, theinspiredhome.com. If you are not taking advantage of this program or you don't even know anything about it, again, I encourage you to first at least look at the website and see what it's all about. It's essentially a lifestyle website. We have an editorial calendar on our website, so you can submit products to our contributors, and they'll often select the products you send and write about you. And then we kind of do like a shop this article. We've gained some momentum in this Inspired Home. It's marketed directly to consumers. and it's a great way to get your brand promoted. You do have to be a member of the association in order to take advantage of this, an exhibiting member, but it's a great program. Take a look at it. I can put you directly in touch with the people who can help you get started with this. The editorial calendar is pretty key, and I hope you'll take advantage of it. I can guarantee no other show in the world is helping you reach the consumer like we're trying. It's a big initiative, and we're kind of doing our hard launch this year, and they've made some great tweaks to the site. It looks really great, and take a look. Okay, we are just about to wrap up. This is some housekeeping notes, some very important, so bear with me a couple more minutes. We offer what we call the Power Hour on site, right? Your trade show, hopefully your reps or you are setting some appointments at the show when you can get them. I know sometimes they're hard to confirm. But what we've done is we've extended the show 1 hour. The show officially closes at 5:30. However, we'll give you an extra hour to finish up those meetings without shooing you off of the show floor. So that's kind of important as you get into your pre-show planning. Badge registration is now open for all assigned exhibitors. Go ahead and access the site through our homepage and click on show and register. Dawn also happens to be our expert resident on badge registration for exhibitors, so if you have any problems, she is waiting for your call. On peak, this is another kind of one of these poacher things that I'd like to kind of address. So we work very hard to get the best hotel rates we can in the city. On Peak is our official show housing partner, and we really are encouraging you, if you haven't booked your stay, to please book through our block. It's really important we get exhibitor support and buyer support on our housing pickup, because all it does is benefit you. It also helps us keep rates low and get more hotels onto the block, and there's a whole domino effect here. This is one of those things you may get poacher emails on. If it doesn't say on Peak, then it's not, or International Housewares Association with our branding, it's not from us. Often these poachers will use our name. If you get one of these emails, please forward it to us. We do what we can to stop them. We have been notified that there are some scams going on out there. So if you're not booking your travel directly, then, and you're not booking it through our official housing partner, just be aware that, again, this is another one of those poaching areas.
Nancy?
Yes.
I have a question. For the Inspired Home editorial calendar leads, do the products need to be available at retail already for them to write about them?
That's a really good question. The new kind of plan, because I said we soft launched, we've kind of morphed a little bit on how we're handling this. But what we'll do when they hit kind of shop that section, the goal is to link back to your company website page or your store page, or however you might be handling consumer inquiries. So if you're maybe taking a wait list for a product, that it kind of falls to you on how you want to handle the consumer request. I will tell you that the contributors, they definitely request samples. A lot of them really like to use it, particularly if it's an item to cook with. We've got a bunch of chef contributors on there, and we've got some really high-profile people who are really trying to take the product and, get a Today Show spot or really promote it in the media to get attention to the site and to your product, sometimes specific products.
But if you're selling through e-commerce, I would definitely take advantage of having a contributor write about your product.
Right, and it's selected by them. So all we can tell you to do is to, get on the editorial calendar, submit your product, and again, go ahead and shoot me an email or call me. You can find all our contact information on the website, and there it is again. And I'll get you in the hands of the people who handle that piece of the pie here. And they can really talk you through in depth what we're doing and how it's working. And I know just a little information that they've really tweaked the target audiences, and they've had great success in building the numbers. We also have a lot of, we're working with a lot of YouTube influencers now. You know, some of these people have millions of followers, and some of those people are contributors. It's a phenomenal opportunity. I mean, again, there's no show that's offering this. And part of that, if you're not aware, we're not for profit. We're your association. We work for you. Great. Another boss. Only 2,100 of them. But, you know, that's our mission. Our mission is to help make you successful. So all these tools are designed to help you be successful at the show. And that's really all we've got for you. Any more questions that we can answer?
You may want to remind everyone that this will be available on our website.
Thank you. This website has been recorded and will be available up on, again, under the Education tab on the housewares.org. We will also send you the link as soon as we get it, so you can listen to us again as much as you want. So thank you so much for attending. We're open for any kind of questions. Give us a call. We're here. Thanks.
I have one more question.
Okay, one more question.
Can we exhibit a similar product of our category in a showcase, or do they have to be the same product of our catalog?
If you're bringing a product to the show that's not in your catalog, absolutely, you can. As long as it's your company's your product and it's new, you know, new under kind of our guidelines, then yeah, everything's fair game. I mean, it has to be a Housewares product. It has to still be a Housewares product, but yes, if it's not published anywhere, that's very common. Okay, guys, that's a wrap. Thank you.